Okay, I'm working on a 2004 Honda Element. I'm doing the whole AC system change. Basically, it's a whole AC kit. It comes with a expansion valve, compressor, and condenser. Of course, the dryer is built into the condenser itself. So, and usually that's the three main parts that you have to change out. What I'm working on is removing the blow motor unit as a whole. Per manual, I think I found a service manual to where you can be able to remove the whole unit instead of taking just the blow motor or the lower cover itself. I worked on an Acura that's in a similar design or similar setup anyways. But let me start with this. This bracket sits behind this bracket right here. Sits like so. Right across here. So I cut off a piece of plastic. This is how I had to do when I was working on the Acura also. You can see here, there's a plastic piece that goes right across it. When the manufacturer installed this, of course, you have to have this for support. But when you're doing repairs, or at least take the blower motor unit out, you have to cut off this section of the piece. Most definitely, you're gonna have to leave this screw or this part of the piece attached to it still, because this is holding the glove box. So there's a screw that goes from underneath up to the glove box, and it holds the glove box, the hinge to the glove box anyway. So you don't cut these off. These stay. You kind of cut it right next to it, so inside of it basically. Same here. You leave the two support flange here. There's two bolts on each side that holds the bracket itself right here, and it holds it right there, and it holds everything in place like so. But of course it sits behind the plastic, like so. Attached to this bracket, if you can see two little tabs right there, that actually is for this. So this sits on this side, to my right anyways. So, and it kind of locks in right there. Same thing for this side. So when you put the bracket in, this is probably the last thing you're gonna install back once you're done. And you slide it down into that little lip, whatever you want to call it, and it locks in right there, and it holds onto the bracket. Next thing I do is to unplug all the harness to the ECM, which is right here. And you can see the three gray wires, gray tape, duct tape. It plugs into the bottom three of the ECM, and these two hooks up to the top two of the ECM. Now this right here, sợ chứ? Làm xong là làm thôi, and it kind of snaps into the retainer clip. All right. And this retainer snaps in right here, like so. So I unhook that, and this is basically for the blow motor. It wraps around the back of the blow motor, and there's two holes that you snap in the retainer clips from behind. One right here, and of course the other one is right here. And of course, it wraps around, hooks up, and it plugs in right here. All right, just to give you an idea. So the wire wraps around the back and it comes up to the front again and plugs into the blower motor. All right, looks like I am going to unplug this. But more to come. I'm probably gonna have to make a second video of this. Unplug the blower motor resistor. I think they call it some sort of resistor, if I remember right. Now for the whole unit, if you look at the whole blower motor unit here, let me zoom out real quick. If you look at the whole blower motor unit, I think there's a couple of bolts, if I remember right. One right there. And if you follow along, it kind of connects. It extends out over here. This whole section right here, it extends out. And if I remember right, this is one of the bolts that hold it right there. So if you follow along, try to look for any 10 mil bolt that holds the whole unit. And I see one right here in the back. So this whole part right here is part of the blower motor unit. So just follow along and see if you can find any 10 mil bolts. Of course, there's one. If you look between the ECM and the blower unit, let's see if I can kind of pinpoint it here. There's a nut that sits way back there. You're gonna need an extension to reach to that one. But yeah, if you look on the top of the ECM and then right to the right of the ECM, there's a little crevice in there. You can see a 10 mil bolt, nut, forgive me. And of course up here, up on the top right of the unit, there should be one right here. Let me see if I can, that should be it. But I will probably do a second video if I found out any more. I'm gonna take a second video when I take the unit out, just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. But more to come. But if that is all the bolts that you need to take out, then I won't make another video to take the blower motor unit out. I'll make a second video for taking out the, well, by that point, I'm almost into the evaporator core where the expansion valve sits also. Just to remind you, it sits somewhere right to the left of the ECM. So, all right, more to come.